Today we are going to work on decomposing fractions. You are going to need your Math Expressions book, Volume 2, and we are going to be on page 351 for a few minutes, and then we'll flip on over to the next page. It's pretty easy, but I just wanted to explain it to you. So it says, every afternoon students volunteered to help the school librarian return books back on the shelves. The librarian puts the book into equal piles on a cart. One day, Jean and Maria found 5 equal piles on the return cart, but they knew there were different ways they could share the job of reshelving the books. They drew a fraction bar to help them find all the possible ways, or all the possibilities. On each fifth bar, circle 2 groups of fifths to show one way the girls could share their work. So let me show you right here. They've shown you that 5 fifths is a whole. So let me see. Move that up a little bit, and I'll put my paper here. If Jean, and then we have Maria. If Jean had 1/5, and all the books have to be put away, so we cover 1/5, how many does Maria have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So she has 4/5 equals 5/5. That's one way they could share it. Another way they could share it is they could do 2/5. Jean could get 2/5. Well, if Jean has 2/5, so let's cover up 2 of these. 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, if I cover up the denominator, 1 plus 4 equals 5. 2 plus 3 equals 5. So all I'm doing is making different ways to make groups of 5. That's one way. Let's go to another way. I know I'm kind of running out of space. So say Jean had 3/5. Well, if Jean did 3, cover 3 up, that means Maria only did 2/5. And together that equals 5/5. Jean could do 4/5, which means Maria would have 1/5. Okay, so there are 4 different ways which Jean and Maria could split up the books. As you can see here, Jean has 1 out of the 5 books, so that means Maria would do 4 out of the 5. Here, Jean had 4 out of the 5 books, so that means Maria only had 1 of the 5 books. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip to the next page, onto page 352. Let's look right here at problem number 2. It says, well, above it says the librarian put 6 equal piles of return books on the cart for Lou and Henry to reshelf. They also drew fraction bars. On each 6th bar, circle 2 groups of 6 to show one way that Lou and Henry could share the work. So let's do that. I'm going to do this right here, squiggly line. I'm going to put Lou and Henry. So if Lou, say, just did 1 out of 6, then that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Henry had to do 5/6. And 1/6 plus 5/6 is 6/6, which equals 1 whole. Another way they could have shared 2/6 here. Okay, well, if I did 2/6, that means I'd have 4/6 left. And together that equals 6/6 over 1. Another way they could have done it is 3 over 6. So if we have 3 covered, then that means 3 would be left, so that would actually be equal. And if you want, we could put this over 1, just like that, because when the numerator and the denominator equal the same thing, it means you have one whole. Okay, so then here we have that. Okay, we've done 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6. Let's try 4, 6. So if we have 4, 6 covered up, then that means we would have 2, 6. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I don't want to go to another piece of paper, but I think I'm going to have to. So this would be Lou and Henry. So then we would have 5, 6. Well, if Lou had 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that means only 1 6 would be left. If you wanted, you could say Lou did nothing. And that'd still equal 6 over 6. And I know we didn't do it earlier, but you could also say Lou did 6 and Henry did nothing. So these are all ways that we can decompose a fraction and make a whole. So now what I want you to do on a Google form, which will be linked to your Google Classroom, I want you to try to do problems number 3 through 14, please. Okay? If you have any questions, please let me know. On Thursday, we're going to try to do a fun activity, possibly with baking, that shows you how we could use this in the real world. So please let me know if you have any questions.